Hello, everybody. My name is Josh Phillips, and for my final project, I will be presenting on movie and TV show streaming apps as disruptive technologies. And I'll start by defining, or giving my definition, I should say, of a disruptive technology. And so after taking this class, my definition for a disruptive technology would be one that started out as only being accessible by a very select few people, and after the course of time and companies changing their products, that product soon becomes accessible to more than just those select few, and more people have access to it for a cheaper price usually. And so that process is one definition. The other definition would be a platform or technology that not only changes how we view a certain aspect of our lives, but it changes the way we go about our lives in general. And so I'll get more into that in my presentation there on these movie and TV show streaming apps here. All right, so I'll go ahead and start with the shift here. So in the beginning, as we all remember, growing up, movies and TV shows could be watched on the TV at their scheduled broadcasting time. Usually around prime time were the most popular shows and movies, between like 6 to 9 p.m. at night. But as I remember growing up, the way we would watch movies that we didn't currently own or that we didn't have time to catch on the actual TV programming list there, we would go to places such as this, such as Blockbuster or Hollywood Video, and we would make it a thing on Friday nights, even maybe, to pick out a movie or a show that we wanted to watch. And this is a big deal. It took maybe 15 to 20 minutes of browsing. You had to figure out something that everyone wanted to watch, and you had to physically go to the store, and then you would rent it, and you'd have to return it within the next day or so, or else there'd be a late fee. And so this not only gave us the habit of renting movies manually, but it also shaped how we as families or we as individuals viewed media. And so as we move over into the shift continues, the rise of Netflix and Hulu and those streaming apps, as they begin to play a large role in the way that we stream movies. When Netflix first came out, you had to actually order online movies and have them delivered to you. And their big thing was that they had no late fees. And I just remember that it took a couple days for it to come into the mail. You'd watch it as many times as you want, and you would send it back when you were done viewing the movie or the show that you'd ordered. And this was a really great way to have this media reach you without you actually really having to leave the house at all. And so it created a new habit in our lives of binge watching, as I have here on the right side of the screen. A little visual here. And this habit affected everyone, I feel like, who was a member of the Netflix community there. And this habit of binge watching really affected the way that we spent our free time and the way that we interacted with one another, because this conversation was sparked by what shows and movies that you were watching on Netflix. And as we move over to Amazon Video here, Amazon has this great idea to implement a Netflix type platform into their own website. And so all these movies and TV shows can be streamed. If you have an Amazon Prime membership, it comes with it. So they've implemented this technology into their own website and company, and the ways that we view these movies and TV shows really have impacted the way we go about our days. People that ride the bus, or that don't manually have to make their way to work in the morning would use their phone to stream movies straight from their phone, or TV shows. You don't physically have to set a date to watch something anymore. It's whenever you want to watch your content, and that's what makes these streaming and video sites and applications so disruptive in our technology, or in our society today. So here we have a graph of the Netflix subscribers, the number of Netflix subscribers at the end of each year up to 2017 was pretty much the most recent one I could find. Here we are peaking at about 103.95 million people. And so that's, I'd say, safe enough to say that a majority of people that you might know, or including yourself, have used this technology with just Netflix alone. And we're talking Netflix, Hulu, Prime Video, and a couple others, and have made their habits and the way that they view their lives based around this sometimes. And there are some shows that take hours to watch, and other shows you can watch in a matter of minutes. But for the sake of it being a disruptive technology, I believe that the fact that you can just stream any show that you want from wherever makes it just that. And the fact that what these movies that were once only accessible by people who had the money to buy them all is now just accessible for $8 to $10 a month on these platforms. And as we move into the future of these streaming applications, I would have to say that the platforms themselves have had more of an impact on society than just each individual movie or each individual show that one watches. The fact that that is just so cheap to view the content that you want from anywhere has greatly impacted businesses and the way we use our free time. The businesses I mentioned alone are long gone. Well, I should say not so long gone, but in the last 10 years or so, I've seen a shift in the way we view these movies, and those companies are no longer around because they can't compete with the accessibility that Netflix and Hulu bring to this market. And so I feel that this technology can be used to even further disrupt the way we go about our days. That these streaming sites, such as Netflix and Hulu, will continue to impact the way society functions and the habits that we create, because the media that is put out by these sites controls our conversations. It controls the way we view one another. Friends are made, and by sometimes just by having a common show that you've watched together or can talk about. And these sites have really impacted how we see entertainment in the movie industry. Most people almost would rather wait until the movie comes out on Netflix. I've heard that said many times by people I know. And so I feel like in the future, these technologies are going to continue to be very impactful towards society as a whole.